There's a kind of pain that doesn't come from being weak. It comes from being open. Open to people's moods, open to their approval, open to their opinion of you. And most of the time, you don't even notice it happening until one day you catch yourself replaying a conversation like it was a crime scene. You remember the look they gave you, the way they laughed as a joke, but it didn't feel like a joke. The way they ignored your message, then acted casual when they finally replied. The way they spoke to you in front of others, just slightly sharp, just slightly dismissive, enough to make you feel small, but not enough for you to call it out without looking dramatic. That's how people hurt you in the real world, not with fists, with frames, with little pushes on your confidence, with tiny storylines they try to place over your head like a crown you never asked for. Too sensitive, too intense, not serious, not important, overreacting, hard to deal with. And if you've been living in that kind of pressure for a while, your brain adapts in the worst way. You start bracing before you speak. You start softening your truth. You start explaining yourself like you're on trial. You start choosing peace by choosing silence. And slowly, without anyone ever forcing you, you hand people the ability to press a button and change your entire mood. Here's the brutal part. Most people who hurt you aren't even doing it with a villain's face. They're smiling. They're being honest. They're being real. They're being concerned. And if you don't understand the game, you keep walking into it like it's normal life. Machiavelli saw this clearly. He wasn't obsessed with cruelty for its own sake. He was obsessed with leverage, how it's created, how it's used, and how it moves through perception. He understood that the person who controls the meaning of a moment often controls the outcome. So when I say, no one can hurt you after this, I'm not talking about becoming numb. I'm not talking about turning into a robot. I'm talking about something much stronger, calm, that cannot be taken from you. The kind of calm that stays even when someone tries to disrespect you, even when someone tries to bait you, even when someone is trying to get a reaction so they can feel powerful. Because that's the truth. A lot of people don't want to beat you. They want to move you. They want to make you react so they can feel like they control something. And if they can control your emotions, they can control your decisions. That's how the game is played. In this script, I'm going to give you a 5-part system, simple, practical, and cold, in the best way that makes you harder to shake. Not because you're tough, but because you're trained. After this, people can still talk, they can still try, they can still push buttons. But the buttons won't be connected to your steering wheel anymore. And I'll be honest, this isn't for everyone. Some people enjoy being liked too much. Some people would rather be comfortable than be sovereign. That's fine. But if you're tired of walking around with your nervous system in other people's hands, stay with me. Because calm isn't a personality trait. Calm is a position. And positions can be built. If you want to stay calm, no matter what someone does, you have to learn one rule first. Whoever controls the frame controls the emotional temperature. Most people think they're upset because of what happened, but half the time, they're upset because of what the moment means. Someone interrupts you, and suddenly it means you don't matter. Someone gives you a sarcastic tone, and suddenly it means you're beneath them. Someone ignores your effort, and suddenly it means you're not enough. That meaning, whether you realize it or not, creates the emotional wave. So the first move is frame control, not yelling, not lecturing, just naming reality clearly. There's a clean way to do this that doesn't turn into drama. You don't attack the person, you label the behavior. Don't talk to me like that. That was disrespectful. We're not doing this. Let's keep it respectful. Short, calm, no speech. Why short? Because long explanations are what people use to pull you into a courtroom. A disrespectful person loves when you start explaining. It gives them openings. They can twist your words. They can argue with your feelings. They can turn your boundary into a debate. A boundary isn't a debate, it's a line. And here's what's interesting. When you state a boundary cleanly, you learn immediately what kind of person you're dealing with. A decent person adjusts. A manipulator argues with the boundary itself. You're too sensitive. It's not that deep. I was joking. Why are you making a big deal? Notice what they're doing. They're not correcting their behavior. They're trying to keep the right to do it again. That's why you must refuse the premise. You don't argue about whether you should feel disrespected. You just repeat the standard. I'm not debating it. Don't speak to me like that. Then silence. This is how you stay calm. You stop trying to win understanding and you start holding standards. Calm isn't being unbothered. Calm is being clear. Now, Machiavelli would put it bluntly, people respect what is enforced, not what is requested. If you're always hoping someone treats you better, you're basically asking for mercy. And mercy is unstable. It's emotional. It depends on their mood. Standards are stable. That's power. There's another layer here too. Stop interpreting everything personally, not in a naive way, but in a strategic way. When someone disrespects you, don't immediately think, I'm worthless. Think they're testing, or they're showing their character, or they're trying to take position. That small mental shift is huge. It keeps you from spiraling. It turns the moment into information instead of injury. When you treat disrespect as information, you get calmer automatically because you stop panicking, you start observing. And once you're observing, you're already winning. Here's where most people fail. They say the right words, they set the boundary, and then nothing changes because they keep giving access even after the disrespect. So the second shift is simple. Conversations don't train people, consequences do. This is where people get scared because they confuse consequences with cruelty. They think, if I leave the room, I'm being dramatic, or if I don't reply, I'm being petty. No, you're being structured. If someone repeatedly disrespects you and you keep showing up like nothing happened, you're teaching them your boundary is decoration. You're teaching them they can treat you however they want and still get your time, your attention, your softness. So you attach a cost. Not revenge, not a tantrum, a cost. You end the call. You leave the conversation. You take space for a day. You stop doing favors. You reduce access. And you do it without a speech. Because speeches are emotional, and emotional speeches feed the drama. One line is enough. We'll talk when it's respectful. Then you go quiet. This is how you stay calm. You stop trying to convince disrespectful people. You just make disrespect expensive. And yes, at first, they won't like it. They'll call you cold. They'll say you changed. They'll try to guilt you back into your old role. That's normal. When you stop being easy to control, people who benefited from controlling you feel uncomfortable. But discomfort is not your enemy. Disrespect is. Now, a key detail. There's a difference between disrespect in private and disrespect in public. Private disrespect is bad. Public disrespect is a declaration. It's someone trying to purchase status with your humiliation. If someone undercuts you in front of others and you laugh it off, you're basically telling the room, this is allowed. So, you keep it clean and immediate. Don't do that. Or even just, no. Then continue like you're not shaken. The goal is not to destroy them. The goal is to stop the transaction. You're not performing anger for the audience. You're enforcing a standard in real time. Here's another thing that helps you keep calm. Do not chase closure. People who disrespect you often want you to chase them, to explain, to beg for a better tone. That chase is the real prize for them. It makes them feel powerful. So, you stop chasing, you stop proving, you stop pleading. You become very boring to manipulate. That's a secret most people don't understand. Calm is often boring. Calm isn't entertaining. Calm doesn't give people a show. Calm doesn't give them fireworks. Calm gives them a wall. And when you become a wall, only two types of people remain in your life: the respectful and the frustrated. That's a good filter. Now we go deeper, because this is the part that makes you unshakable. You stop letting emotions become commands. People try to hurt you because they want a reaction. They want you defensive. They want you angry. They want you explaining. They want you to lose control of yourself for a moment so they can feel like they've won something. So here's the practice. Feel everything, obey nothing. When someone throws a jab, you will feel it. You're human. Your body will respond. The heat, the tight chest, the urge to snap back, normal. The mistake is thinking the feeling must be acted on. Instead, you convert it. This is emotional alchemy. Insult becomes intel. Disrespect becomes direction. Ask one question. What are they trying to get from me right now? Your anger is not the problem. Your anger is a signal that a boundary was crossed. The problem is what you do next. If you explode, they own your steering wheel. If you collapse, they own your confidence. But if you stay calm and act strategically, your anger becomes fuel. This is where pain production matters. People ignore you? Fine. Build louder results. They smirk at your ambition? Good. Now you know where their ceiling is. They try to shame you? Perfect. Now you see their weapon. The goal isn't to be spiteful forever. The goal is to be energetically efficient. Don't waste heat on arguments. Turn it into precision. Turn it into work. Turn it into training your nervous system to remain steady. Now, detachment training. The biggest reason people can hurt you is because you want approval. You want to be liked. You want to be understood. You want their validation to confirm your value. And that hunger makes you easy to control. So you practice being misunderstood without correction. You practice being disliked without panic. You practice silence while someone tries to bait you into defending yourself. Not because you're weak, because you're sovereign. Machiavelli would say it like this: if someone can withdraw something from you and change your behavior, they have leverage over you. Approval is one of the easiest levers in the world. People will do ridiculous things to avoid being disliked. So, you stop negotiating your dignity for acceptance. Here's a simple exercise. The next time someone tries to disrespect you, don't rush to respond. Pause. Let a full breath pass. Look at them. Then choose the shortest response that holds your standard. Then move on. At first, it will feel unnatural. Your body will want the old pattern. Explain, soften, laugh, apologize, chase. That's your conditioning. That's the herd instinct trying to keep you safe through social approval. But social approval isn't safety, it's just comfort. Real safety is knowing you can handle discomfort without losing yourself. And here's the moment where people become truly unable to hurt you, when you stop taking their behavior as a reflection of your worth. You see it as a reflection of their character, their hunger, their insecurity, their need for control. That's when it stops being personal. And when it stops being personal, it stops being painful. Once you build this calm, your life changes in a way that's almost funny. People who used to joke at your expense will suddenly speak more carefully. People who used to test you will start behaving, not because they became moral overnight, because the cost changed. The leverage disappeared. And that brings the final test. When you start winning, people rewrite history. The ones who treated you casually will act like they always respected you. The ones who minimized you will suddenly compliment you. The ones who disappeared will show up when you're valuable again. Don't fall for it emotionally. You don't need to punish them. You don't need to make speeches. You don't need revenge. You just maintain the standard. Polite distance. Results only. No emotional access. That's the wall of glass. They can see you. They can't touch you. Because here's the truth. You can't build a stable life on people whose respect depends on your usefulness. That respect is conditional. It comes and goes like weather. If you let it inside your nervous system, your peace will always be rented, never owned. So you own it. You keep your calm because you stop handing people the power to dictate your inner state. You control the frame. You attach consequences. You reduce signal. You convert emotion into strategy. You detach from approval. And you let time and consistency do what arguments never can. After that, what can someone really do to hurt you? They can talk. They can judge. They can try to provoke. But your mind won't sprint after them anymore. Your self-worth won't sit on their tongue anymore. Your peace won't beg for permission anymore. That's not numbness. That's sovereignty. And most people will never reach this. They'll keep trading their dignity for comfort. They'll keep calling it being nice. They'll keep wondering why they feel powerless. But you don't have to wonder. You just have to practice. Because once you build calm on purpose, no one can steal it by accident.